Hello YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor with a Mental Monday. Part of the Mental Monday is coincided with a mail call, and the other part is, of course, mail call. But first, I want to announce this. I've gave it a lot of thought. I've had a lot of inquiries via email sent and a lot of suggestions down in the comments. If you remember, we went in depth on these Z-Force model work wheels. These are the Hot Wheel Red Line 19s and 20s. These are available only through Ryan Jones. And so what I've decided to do is hold a group build. We'll go over the rules here. They're really simple, and the choices covers all bases of skill level. So there's no reason not anybody, even a beginner or the most experienced modeler, can't participate. No prizes, if you want to call it bragging rights, until next year, because I will hold this every year. This is the only one that I will do, and only because like I said, I've thought about it a lot, and I know everybody's interests don't just lie in model cars. There's a lot of model car builders that have interest in Hot Wheels. They've collected them since they was a kid. They still have their original collection, or it's something they've just gotten into later in life. And I can appreciate that to the 10th power. I have a few Hot Wheels sitting around here. Most of mine when I was a kid were Johnny Lightnings and Matchbox. And that's when Matchbox actually came in a little box. My grandmother would get them for me if I was a good little boy. When she went to the drugstore, they were like 10 cents a piece. And if I was good, she always got me 2 each time we went. And that was about once every other week. And they had a big sandbox they built for me out in the backyard. And of course, every one of them I played without the sandbox. They got left out there, buried in the sand, rusted away. I could probably go, the house still stands today. I could probably still go out there to that sandbox and dig up my whole collection and have a pile of rusted metal. And the thought has crossed my mind. But anyways, so what it's going to be is it's going to be a 3-month-long build. It will start September 27th, and the due date will be my birthday, December 27th of this year, 2022. And it will follow the same time each year after. The number one rule, and I know a lot of people may not be able to do it due to money, and I totally get that. It's that is what it is. But being is what this is about, this is kind of the stickler. You must get a set of wheels from Ryan Jones. These wheels must be painted true to the Hot Wheels, the little one, the 1/64 scale. So silver and black, and then the red line around the tire. That's it for these. That's the only stipulation. It must have these. They must be painted accordingly. Now, that being said, these wheels are, less than 20 bucks or right at 20 bucks. You don't have to go out and buy a kit. I've chosen enough of the Hot Wheels and a wide variety that everybody who enters should have one of these kits in their stash, or just whatever, a rebuilder. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a brand new kit, guys. If you got a rebuilder sitting around, you can use the rebuilder. The kit is not specific as far as oh, I gotta go spend $30 on a kit and then this, and I'm $50 into it. No, this is the only stipulation that you're going to have to buy, because these aren't just, not everybody has them. If you already have a set, kudos. You're ahead of the game. So we'll go over this real quick. Now, these will be available. I will, tonight, I will get my wife to set up, and so I can type this out, and I will have this in probably a PDF file, and I can send this to you. That way you have it. Or you can just contact me via email, and I can go over everything again. but it's simple. To enter, I need a pic of the Hot Wheel you're using, or a picture of the real Hot Wheel. You don't have to own the real Hot Wheel. You can find a picture online. I've researched all weekend, so they're all over the place. So there's no reason why you can't find one. So whichever Hot Wheel you choose to be your inspiration, let's just say that. This is where the skill level set comes. So if the Hot Wheel you choose, it has to be a red line. If the doors open, the trunk opens, and the hood opens, so must your kit. You see what I'm saying? Same way, if the Hot Wheel you choose has a vinyl roof, so must your kit. Color-wise, it does not have to match. It's cool if you want it to. I mean, if the Hot Wheel's blue, you can paint your model blue. That's not important. What is important, if your Hot Wheel you choose also has white interior, there's only 3 colors, white, tan, and black on the interiors. That's the only 3 colors you can use no matter what. So if the picture you use or the real Hot Wheel you have has, let's say, white interior, for example, your kit must have white interior. If the engine sticks through the hood of your Hot Wheels, so must your model. We're not getting in detail as far as adding spark plug wires and all the extra goodies. It's not about any of that. We're not modifying the rear suspensions or front suspensions to accommodate the wheels. Now these are a little wider, but if you know as well as I do, Hot Wheels, the wheels always stuck out a little bit. So that's, you set your ride height, the normal height. Your tires stick out, they stick out. That's the way a real Hot Wheel did. We're building a replica of the Hot Wheel, but it has to have these. Now, that said, those are the only stipulations. So if you're a beginner, you've only got a few builds under your belt and you want to enter this, that's great. I appreciate that. Pick a Hot Wheel or not, if you're not skilled enough to open doors and all that. And if, most model kits, the hoods do open. You can use a curbside kit. That, as long as it fits in the category of kits that can be used. But if the hood opens and the engine sticks through the hood, the model kit should do the same. If your hood does not open and the engine sticks through the hood, then you can glue the upper half of the engine to the hood, just like a Hot Wheels would. The hood didn't open, it's just this big monster engine stuck through the hood. That's the name of the game. We're replicating a little Hot Wheel in 1/24th, 1/25th scale. Now, like I said, it's box stock except for the wheels. There's 3 color choices for the interior: black, white, and tan. Must resemble Hot Wheel of choice. So when you send me, between now and the 27th is the time for you to collect the wheels, pick out your paint color, your interior color, and your kit. And you're going to send me a picture via email showing you got the wheels, the kit, and the Hot Wheel. Whether it's a picture or it's the actual Hot Wheel, I accept either or, doesn't matter. And, your paint colors. I would like to see, if your Hot Wheel's blue, I'd like to see your model blue. I mean, but it doesn't have to be blue. You can use purple, green, whatever. But it has to be within the guidelines of what the Hot Wheels had. We can't go extravagant with, most Hot Wheels back then were one color. They weren't two-tone paint jobs. They weren't this, that, and the other. The last and final stipulation is if your Hot Wheel has colored glass. So like say that it's got the green, metallic green pearl paint job and it has green glass, your glass has to be green too. Blue, red, whatever, clear. That it has to match that. Same way with the interior. So if you, let's say you pick the blue, your Hot Wheel is red, It has clear glass, and it has a black vinyl top. It would be better to pick a metallic red, or, you know, it can be any shade of metallic red. It doesn't matter. Just not a solid color, a metallic red. Now this can be rattle canned. It can be airbrushed. You can brush paint it. There's no, you know, it just has to resemble your Hot Wheel that you choose. So, let's change it around, because I think that'll make it less confusing. So if your Hot Wheel's red, your model must be red. If it's blue, paint it blue. It can be any shade of that color. It doesn't have to be identical to the Hot Wheel, but within, you know, the color spectrum of, let's say, blue. It could be any shade of blue. It can be any shade of red, any shade of yellow, any shade of green, so on and so forth. But I don't want to see a red Camaro with a black vinyl top and you paint it root beer brown with a black vinyl top. We're running off track there of what we're trying to do. I know there's a lot of crap in this, but we have 3 months to build it, and for a box stock, and you know, and depending on the builder, the modifications you choose to do, or the Hot Wheel you choose and the kit you choose, you know, hopefully that's enough time for you to do that. It should be. A lot of Hot Wheels didn't, you know, back then the doors and stuff didn't open. There was a few, but and some the hood opened, and you know, the engine was underneath there. But it has to resemble the Hot Wheel you choose. And let's see what else. I got everything written down here. Oh, if your Hot Wheel you choose has a sunroof, you must incorporate the sunroof. So it's basically whatever your Hot Wheel has, your model kit should have also, or does. I don't expect them to roll. You know, I don't make all my models roll, so that's not a thing. You will, I believe, when you buy these from Ryan, you'll get a set of brakes with these. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think you do. Those aren't required, so you can put those up, keep them for a different build if you want, because the Hot Wheels didn't have brakes on them. You know, they had the little ridge behind the wheel on the newer Hot Wheels, but the older red lines, they just had the little metal axle through it and the tires, and that was it. What resembled the axle molded in underneath. Let's see, what else? I thought I had all this memorized. Must resemble Hot Wheel of choice. If Hot Wheels has opening doors, hood, trunk, vinyl top, sunroof, your model should as well. We covered that. Must have the new wheels from Z-Force. This is not a plug to make Ryan a wealthy man for everybody to go out and buy these wheels. It's just a stipulation of the build. And like I said before in the beginning, if you can't do that, I get that. This build is just specifically for that. So I think it's a cool idea. I hope it picks up, and I hope everybody takes this and runs with it and has an amazing time with it, because the nature of this is to have fun and to blend two of our beloved things. You know, a lot of us collect Hot Wheels, a lot of us collect models. Some of us do both, some do one or the other. And this isn't held just to the modeling community. This is also held to anybody that builds Hot Wheels. They can enter this also. They just have to be aware of it. I follow a few, but they're more, you know, JDM guys that probably don't even watch my channel. But if you guys know of them, you can pass the word to them. They are welcome as well. And that kind of takes them out of their wheelhouse where they're just used to working on the Hot Wheels. Well, now they're going to build a 1/24 or 1/25 scale to resemble their favorite thing. So here's the choices of cars. Now I've researched a bunch of different Hot Wheels and just picked the most common that are available fairly cheap, and some that are a little pricey. So it depends on what you have in your stash and what you're willing to build. And you know, it's not limited to, you know, if everybody wanted to do a Camaro, everybody can do a Camaro. I don't care. I just want to see some color variations in there if that's the case. So here's your choices. I'm going to read them off. Like I said, these, you can contact me via email and I can give you a copy of this so you can go by. But there's a 68 Camaro. There's the 68, 69. It didn't say specific year on this, but Olds Cutlass. 66, 67 Chevelle. 68, 69 Ford Cougar, Mercury Cougar. 68, 69 Volkswagen Beetle. Now that is one that did have the sunroof, and it had the blower engine sticking through the hood. So that is the only difference of all these that, you know, normally would have that engine, or you would have the parts for it, and most people would have a spare blower sitting around. So if you chose to do the Volkswagen Beetle, all the ones I saw, that doesn't mean that's the way it is, but all the ones that I saw had the little blower engine sticking through the hood in the front. Your kit also must have that on completion. So you'll have to dig through your parts box and find you a blower, you know, the cylinder heads, valve covers, the blower, you know, the top portion of the belt, the carburetors, and the scoop must be sticking up on the hood. It's got to resemble the Hot Wheel. That particular one also has a sunroof, so you know, the doors don't open, but it has a sunroof, so you'd have to cut a sunroof in it. I don't care how elaborate you get with the sunroof. You can put the folding top on it if you want. I don't care. It can have just the opening. You know, no specifics there. I forget who makes this, the Diora. And it has the two surfboards. It must have the two surfboards on the back. So you see where I'm going with this. So the Hot Wheel, you know. The 68, 69 Barracuda. That's probably a little pricier kit. 68, 69 Charger, widely available. Not that expensive. 68, 69 Challenger. They're out there. Some may be a little pricey. I mean, newer releases would probably be better to get a cheaper version of it. 67, 68 Mustang. 68, 69 Corvette. 68, 69 Firebird. Now that's, you know, there's another one that might be a little pricey. Or if you have one or two in your stash, there you go. 65 through 69 El Camino. Most of them were 65 that I saw, but I widened the range there because a lot of people have, you know, an El Camino laying around. And like I said, guys, all these can be a rebuilder. You can use the rebuilder for this. It doesn't have to be a brand new kit. It doesn't have to be a sealed kit or anything like that. You can pull any parts you want from your stash to complete the kit, but it can't be, you don't want to modify it. That you're going way off basis. We just want a bone stock car with these wheels on it, and it to resemble the Hot Wheel. 58 T-Bird convertible. And then probably the most pricey one out of all of them, but would be a beautiful version, is the 69 AMX. And that, I believe, Johan made, and then there was another company that reproduced it. I think it was Testers or somebody, as like a Pro Street version. Any of those, if you know, if that's your choice, that's, you know, that. But keep in mind, no matter what kit you pick, I would pick the Hot Wheel first. So go online or go to your stash or whatever, you know, your collection, and pick your favorite Hot Wheel that has red line tires on it. That's the key. The Hot Wheel has to have red lines on it also. There you have your inspiration. Then you can go and pick which kit. And it has to be from this list. That's a wide variety, guys. Most of these are available at Hobby Lobby. If you don't have one, you know, you can go pick one up. You can pick them up at swap meets, whatever. You have until now, until the 27th of September, to gather your Hot Wheel, your model kit. You know, just show me the jar of paint. That way I can see it's a shade of the color of the Hot Wheel. And happy building. It starts the 27th, which will be the day of the 27th. So it doesn't matter if you start at 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever, but on the 27th of September is your start date. Completion date, I've got to have all your videos in by midnight on the 27th of December. So you have until midnight the 27th to, you know, get your video up. And I get a lot of guys are super busy, they may not get done. There's no rules or regulations. It has to be done. It has to be the only stipulation says you got to stay in that color range of the Hot Wheel. If it's got colored glass, you have to, you can take clear Tamiya and spray your glass to get the same look and effect. It's not hard to do. If it's tinted glass, use the Tamiya smoke. Or I'll even accept just black out the windows. That's fine. Whatever color interior the Hot Wheel you choose has, that's what color your model should have. If the engine sticks through the hood, it should stick through the hood. If it sits on top of the hood and the hood don't open, you get where I'm going with this. Any questions, my email's always down in the descriptions. You can send it to me. I'll be glad to answer any questions. I can give you, I'll hand type if I have to, all the rules for this. Today in this video, you can give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, drop me a comment, say yes, this is great, no, this doesn't sound fun at all, and as normal. So now let's get to the mental part. I've dwelled on this and I've thought about this a lot, and it's not a bad thing by any means. It's only good. It's positive. It's what this hobby is about. You always take somebody underneath your wing. Somebody that is asking questions is interested. It's not, well, I don't have time to answer your questions. That's not what we're about. As modelers, we're about sharing our hobby, encouraging others to join our hobby. And, like I do, spew off all your enthusiasm about the hobby. And there's a lot of people out there, and for a lot of us, they're right next to us. And they may not ever approach, so you may have to approach. And that's family. That's your wife's, your kids, your daughters. Now, great example is Matthew over at Model Car Videos. He's involved his wife. He's involved his daughters. Now, I know Matthew has a son. I do not know if his son was ever involved in building models with him. I have 2 grown sons. The only interest they ever had was back in the day when the NASCAR was super popular and they were coming out with the kits, and they weren't into the glue kits like I was. They wanted the fast results so they could get back outside or get back to their video games. And that was the Snap-Tight ones, which most of those just had stickers. They weren't decals, or if they had decals, I helped them with them. But they were into those for quite a while. And then, of course, they got a little older and they lost interest and never regained the interest. Hopefully, with all this, one day they will. That this just doesn't all get sold off or, given away or whatever. I'd like to keep this in, keep it in the family, so to speak, whether it be my kids or grandkids. But, Matthew's not the only one. There's other guys out there I know, I've heard, their wives are involved, like Brian, BG's. I think his wife does build, and I know she goes with him to shows, and she does a lot of the mail calls and stash ads and stuff like that on his videos. Jason over at Blue Ox. His wife Heather and Matthew's wife Heather just did a dual, build with the Jeep Wranglers, which was awesome. I loved both sides of that. It was great. Matthew was in that area. He stopped in, got to see Jason's shop. They got to meet each other in person, reveal their builds or wife's builds, and that to me was exceptional. Now, my wife happens to be a super, super, super busy woman. Primarily with her job, and then helps take care of the house, and we have our daughter and our granddaughter that lives with us until our daughter's out of college. So we've got a pretty busy, bustling household. So my wife really doesn't have interest in building, but she does support me 150% with the hobby, and she helps me to a degree on certain things, whether it's ordering stuff or gathering stuff that comes into the mail and getting it down here to the shop. She just doesn't segregate herself away from it altogether and say, this is all you handle this, you do this. She gets involved, a lot. She goes to me with shows. She goes with me to, flea markets and yard sales and antique stores, looking for models, and she's always keeping her eye open for them. But Matthew and Jason, and of course Brian too, they've got their wives involved and their daughters, and Jason's got his son that builds. So everybody's those few people I mentioned, their families are involved in the hobby. So it's like one hobby, even though each one may have something different they enjoy. But your wife may be interested. You need to ask her and offer it constantly. Would you like to sit down and build a model? I'll help you. I'll show you what to do. But you build it. As where my wife's so busy, she just comes down here and takes a few minutes and picks which model she'd like to see, and I call it wife's choice, and I build that for her because she just doesn't have the time to sit here and do that because something else has to be done. And I get that. And chances are she probably still wouldn't do it. It's just because it's she has other interests and other hobbies, and that takes the rest of what little bit of time she has. Your kids are the world. I'm a super firm believer in, if you make the choice in life that you have kids, your kids come first and foremost, above and beyond anything else in the world, until what time they don't need you at that level anymore. And that's why I took a 23, almost 24 year hiatus away from the hobby. And that was to raise my family. But along the way, if it, makes itself apparent to you that they're interested, you should 120% devote and invest time into them to get them to do it. Because this hobby isn't just about how many models you have on the shelf, or how many parts you have, or if you 3D print, or resin cast. None of that matters really. It matters it's quality time. Right now this is quality time for me to sit here and build models. And if my kids were little, I would want them in here with me and have a space where they could work on, no matter what kind of model kit it was, but where they could do that. Because it teaches them things. It teaches them how to be patient. It teaches them how to have a steady hand, how to use tools properly. There's a lot of education involved within the hobby, and it's life lessons learned that can be used anywhere out in the world. So that being said, a lady that is a model builder. I'll just, her name's Marcy, Miss Summers. She watches my videos. I thank you, Marcy, very much. She sent me the missing kit for the Tip Top Studios #2 kit for the garage diorama. It was missing a part or two, and that's fine, because I've got another one coming, and I needed 2 of those to begin with. So, but out of the kindness of her heart, she sent it to me, and I sent, her a set of wheels and tires for her to use on a future build. And, super nice lady, and I'm glad to see a woman builder. Now on Instagram, there's quite a few lady builders. And there's women that are in this hobby, not just in the building aspect, but in other aspects, like on Instagram, the decal lady. I will have her link down in my descriptions today. She will custom make decals. You can have stickers, and you can send her the stickers, and she will reproduce those in decal form for you. I've used her decals. They're top quality. They're great. Same way as the president of my modeling club, Terry Borchers. He also is on Facebook. He's on Instagram too. He did have a YouTube channel. I don't think he posts videos anymore. But he primarily does decals now. And he travels around to shows and, sells his decals that way. But he does take custom orders. I don't have a link for anything on that. The best way to contact him, if you email me, I'll give you his phone number, and you can call him direct and inquire about any decals you need made. Decal Lady, Instagram, DM her. That's the best way to contact her. Both make super good decals. So I know a lot of people are always doing one-off builds and you're looking for specific decals. These two individuals would be excellent sources to have. There is another lady, I can't remember her name. She's on Instagram too. That is a model builder. She has a channel. I think she just started a YouTube channel here a while back. She does some live videos on Instagram. She does really good work. She's a wife, she's a mother, but this is her passion, and it's great to see, because as a kid and a teenager, I just thought this was a boy thing. It's cars and trucks. This is just something a boy does. A girl wouldn't do this. She's busy playing with her Barbie dolls, or fixing her hair, makeup, whatever it may be. It was kind of one-sided of me to think that way. And then, as I get older, I see and I realize, especially through the level of social media, that that's not the case. There's girls out there that love this hobby just as much. I've seen over the years girls here on YouTube that build models, whether it's Gundam, that's a big genre for women, is Gundam, and a few build airplanes and boats, a lot build model cars. So it's like we need to include them. We need to promote them. We need to, get them out there. That way that will inspire a little girl. It may inspire a little boy as well, but it's going to inspire a lot more than us promoting our hobby to little boys and, teenage boys and maybe grown men that are fascinated with automobiles but just aren't, mechanically inclined, but they could build a model. There's a vast array of other people that would love to be in this hobby and may not be aware of, what to do and how to do it. So we as modelers, and especially content creators, should take the time to promote them. And that's what I'm doing here, is Miss Marcy Summers, and the Decal Lady. Her name is Olga. So, like I said, I will have her link to her Instagram page down below, and you can contact her for decals, and you can look at her page and see all the she makes a wide variety of decals, and she can make anything. And her sons and her husband build models, so she's well aware of sizing and everything else. So, she's involved in their hobby, but has created a business outside of that. And, she deserves, a huge round of applause. So does Mrs. Summers. And there's 15 or 20 other women, if not more, on YouTube that build models that deserve our attention and our praise, and for us to promote them. Because at the end of the day, they're a modeler. They're not just a lady. It's not just, your sister-in-law, your wife, your sister, your cousin, daughter, granddaughter, niece. It doesn't matter. It's somebody that's in the hobby, and we should promote each other and everyone as a whole, not just as one. I don't see a lot of that, which is great, but we need to work harder to promote as a whole versus, like my audience, according to the algorithms, 99% of it is male. 4% of it is female. One being Miss Summers, the other being family members of mine. One being my granddaughter, and my daughter-in-law. They watch my videos. They're not to say they're fascinated with it, but they enjoy it. It's a way to, a mother and daughter spend time together and watch grandpa and father-in-law on a little video. This video is long. I apologize. Mail call is quick. A gentleman by the name of Michael Hintz suggested a while back, and it didn't dawn on me, and then I just watched his video. Like I said, I try to get caught up on the weekends on everybody's videos. It doesn't always work, but I try. But he makes this mask. So I was having issues with the 60/66 C10, as you know. And he suggested Frisket film. What this is, it's a matte finish. it is kind of transparent still, so you could hand draw, or use a decal or whatever, and put behind this with some light on glass and trace it onto here, and then cut it out, and that will create a mask. It does leave a little tack residue, which, that stuff is like bare metal foil. It's easy to clean up, so it's not, it's not a bad deal. So now I can hand draw the flames how I want them to go down the sides of the truck, put it behind here with some light, trace it onto here, then cut it out from here, then I can lay the mask on there and I can get busy painting that thing. So somewhere between now and when I kick it, that will be getting done, hopefully sooner than later. I've got a lot of feedback on the distributors. We did have a little issue with some of the mailing, and I kind of figured that I've got a different source now to send them. One gentleman's the distributors got ripped away from the envelope. I'm getting that ready as we speak to go right back out to you. The other gentlemen, some of them have gotten further and they've got them already installed, which is great. I like seeing that. Keep in mind that wire, if I got a piece of it here, no, where'd it go? I got a piece of it here. Here we go. Those pre-drilled distributors, there's ones that are hollow where you can just bunch them up and stick them down in there. Kind of like the Detail Masters. It's just a little aluminum tube and it's open, and they glue their wires down in there and sell as a pre-wired distributor. It's kind of the same thing, only it's a better looking distributor to use. The pre-drilled ones with the wires I sent you are designed for you to strip the end of that wire off to fit down in those holes. Or take one of those drill bits like this, whatever size needed, and just lightly drill them out. They don't need to be any deeper. They just need to be maybe widened a hair, like one size or whatever. That way, then if you're more comfortable just sliding the end of the wire down in there. But, it's, like I said before, it's going to take a little work to do it, because the wire is a little too big. But on a big block engine, it's about the right size, especially with these 572s and 632s, the 429 Boss, the Pro Mod Hemi, with the dual magnetos. This is about the appropriate size wire. Most small blocks and regular big blocks like 396, 427, 454, the smaller gauge wire will work or look better. And I've got that coming in, but it's going to take forever. I'm not getting it until like November 2nd. So it's going to hold up production, but I've got everything in I need for production. All the packaging, shipping, and stuff like that. I'm just waiting on the wire, and then I can start, I'll be making them. You will still receive a bare distributor and the wires. That way you can paint everything and then install your wire. I don't want to do that. And then the black wire from this will become the boots for that. So you'll still get a black wire about 3 inches long, and you'll get the little piece of rubber vacuum line, and you'll get the 2 distributors and 2 sets of wires. So you're basically getting 2 distributor sets for the price of one, which the final price I think will be about $6.50. I will find out when I go to mail this, because I'm taking several and getting things weighed to see what price variances would be for shipping. I wouldn't think no more than a couple dollars for shipping, and I want to see how much I can combine before that price changes. That way I can let you guys know that. This is the only thing that I'm going to probably be selling here after when I start production. So up till then, I do have some other 3D stuff that I can sell. After that, it'd be primarily just this. Everything else will be done as far as me selling out and everything else. Everything else will go before my, personal use. But I'll keep you more informed on that. But just so you know, strip the end of that wire off just a hair, the depth of that pre-drilled one, and then you're going to glue that solid wire down inside the distributor. That way, this primarily won't fit down in there. It does, because I've tried it, but once the glue hardens, and if you go to bend these more, sometimes it'll pop that out of there. So you're better off just stripping that wire down a little bit and just a little dab of super glue on there, gel, or quick curing CA, and set it down in there and hold it for a few seconds, then let off of it, set it aside for a minute or two, let it set up really good, then put your next one in. so on and so forth. Or you can go to the extreme and measure, this distance times 2, and then that boot I sent you, you can cut off your little boot and slide it over the bare wire up to this wire with a little dab of glue so it binds to this, and then you still have your little bare metal wire that you can stick down in your distributor and glue it. That way, it's solid to the distributor cap, and then it looks like you have a boot and then the wire. So there's ranges, and I've done them all. I know they all work. So I'm not trying to tell you something that's not feasibly possible. It is possible. So again, thank you, Michael, for that tip. I think that's going to work good for what I'm trying to do. I'll keep you posted on that. Again, Marcy, Miss Summers, I appreciate the gift and the kind words on this letter. This was a handwritten letter to me. I will keep this. I cherish that kind of stuff. And remember, guys, as hobbyists, and even us more so as content creators, part of it's promoting something that you stand behind and you believe in. And I do believe wholeheartedly, if your wife, sister, your mother, your daughter, your niece, a female cousin, if they're interested in the hobby, get behind them. Help them out. Buy them a kit if they don't have any money. And if you can do so. Or give them one of your, out of your stash, or a rebuilder, and show them, help them along the way. Pique their interest. And you guys that already got your wives involved, kudos to you. I love seeing that. I have from the get-go. When Matthew first did it, brought Heather in, and she did her first build. And what more rewarding is, you go to a show and you take it with no expectations, and you win an award. And his daughter, Ruthie, won that award for that Chevelle. That is absolutely 100% amazing. That his daughter takes the time out of her life as a young lady to spend time with Dad and out in his shop, and she put something together, and you probably didn't think anything about it, but just it's time spent with Dad, and agreed to go to the show. And she's got her own little fan base out there, and she's built other ones since and before, and I think his other daughter's built one or two, and that's great that Matthew's got his family involved in his hobby. And the same way with Jason, and Brian, and there's a lot of others out there. We just don't hear about them as much, or we're just not aware of it. But we need to make ourselves aware. So that's my mental thought for Mental Monday. I hope you guys get something out of that. You put that to good use, and like I said, applause to the gentlemen that have, because this isn't just a grown man playing with toys. This is a hobby. This is a form of art. You're taking something, you're molding it into something. You're putting beautiful paint on it, all this detail, and that takes talent. And everybody has that talent in them. A lot of people say, well, I don't have the patience for that. Well, yes, you do. You just you haven't applied it yet. And once you do apply it, and you take the time, if it takes you 6 months to build it, it takes you 6 months. It doesn't matter. There's not time regulations on, building a model. I put that pressure on myself. Nobody else does. That's me putting myself under pressure to get X amount done in X amount of time. But women, they need more of them. We need more of them in the hobby. We need more young ladies in the hobby. We need more young men in the hobby. We need older gentlemen, even older ladies if they're interested in it. This is a hobby that can accommodate all ages. That will make our hobby stronger, better, more diverse. Make content out there. Content out there. If they choose that route, more available for us to see other opinions, ideas, methods, so on and so forth. It's been pretty much a male-dominated hobby. I agree, but it doesn't need to be. It needs to be well-rounded. You can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If it's a big thing, send me an email. Again, touch base on the Hot Wheels thing. Pick your Hot Wheel. Pick it wisely. Pick a Hot Wheel according to your skill set at model building. If you have zero skill set at model building, pick a Hot Wheel that is a base Hot Wheel. No opening doors, no opened roof, no opened, hood or anything like that. Something that you can glue it together, paint it. Your interiors have to be a choice of the 3 colors: white, black, or tan. It must have these wheels on it. We are not modifying the suspension to tuck these up underneath. If they stick out, they stick out. That's the way a Hot Wheel is designed. If your Hot Wheel is green, your model should be a shade of green, etc., etc. If your Hot Wheel has an engine that sits on the roof and the hood, and the hood doesn't open, your model should have the engine on the hood. We're not going for cleanliness and perfectness and all that. This is all about fun. Building a replica of your favorite Hot Wheel. And your skill set and your levels are different from everybody else's and what you can do. So that's why I gave a wide variety of cars. There's a wide variety of options on the Hot Wheels as far as, hoods opening, the sunroof, doors opening, some of them the trunks open. So if you pick that, keep in mind that your finished model needs to do so also. 1 video a month showing progress. So you'll have your intro video, and if you send that intro video in on the 27th and you've already started early in the morning, that's fine. I don't care. But intro video in by the 27th. That would be October. Let's say October 27th. Have another video up showing your progress, where you're at. November, the same way, and then your final video December 27th before midnight, or at least by midnight. There's no prizes. There's nothing. It's just some bragging rights if you want. Look at mine. This. Do with it what you want. I will hold this each and every year, host it, so to speak. The rules will not change. They will always be the same. If this is something you're really excited about and you want to get involved in, pick you up 2, 3, 4 sets of these if you can, because this will be required each year. Because I don't know how long Ryan will, produce these. Maybe if he stops, he'll allow me to, and then I'll keep them going, and then I'll sell them, whatever, down the road. Right now I can't. These are just exclusively through Ryan. Now this does help him because you'll be buying them, but it's also a requirement to the build is to have these tires and wheels. So scrape you together $20. Pick your favorite Hot Wheel. Pick your color of paint you have. It doesn't matter what kind of paint you use. It's just got to be metallic because that's the way all Hot Wheels were. Certain ones were solid colors, but we're going with the flashier Redline Hot Wheels. They all had the metallic paint jobs. So you can have any shade of that color that the Hot Wheel is. If it has the tinted glass, it must be tinted. If it's green glass, blue glass, red glass, yellow glass, clear glass, your model has to have the same. If your Hot Wheel has white interior, your model should have white interior. You can detail paint anything you want. The sky's the limit there. We're just not adding any aftermarket parts. We're not modifying suspensions and chassis. Because all Hot Wheels were basically looked like hot rods. They all had that slant to them, jacked up a little bit. That's fine. And most model kits, you can block up the suspension and get that look. You don't have to modify a whole lot. It's just adding something. So, good luck. Like I said, I look forward to the emails. Let me know that you're in it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Likes, comments. Hit that bell notification. We'll be touching more on this each video up till the 27th. And again, I'll get you a copy of these rules via email. And good luck to everybody. Have fun. That's what it's about. Encourage your children to get involved in this project. Your wives, sisters, mothers, any of them. Miss Summers, I hope you get in on this. Ryan's link will be down below. You can go to his page, Instagram, message him, whatever. So you need a set of these. 19s and 20s. That itself will give you a little rake without having to even do any modification. And that's fine. Like I said, the skill set level is set here for anybody from beginner to the most experienced can get involved in this and have fun with it and create a model out of their favorite Hot Wheel. So till Wednesday, we do have one last pass build, and then we're going to kind of change Wednesdays around a little bit, and we'll touch base on that on Wednesday. Like I said, I'm sorry about the super long video, but I had to get all this out, and I didn't want to make two different videos. Take your time, watch a few minutes of it, come back, finish watching it, whatever. I appreciate every one of you, past subscribers, new subscribers. I think I've covered all the bases. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I have a bad habit of that. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out. Oh, haha. There will be a slideshow at the end of this video of all the NASCAR picks. I will incorporate that into this video at the very end, which is basically now. So don't hang up. Don't turn me off. Stay tuned and watch the slideshow. Thank you guys. See you Wednesday. Rusty Rotor, I'm out.